Hello, class. Happy Friday. All right, we are on the last chapter of Judy Moody. So this is kind of it. We've gone through it all. We've learned all about Judy Moody and what she's been doing. And I think chapter 12 is going to probably deal with the biggest part of the story that we've been talking about since the first chapter, her me collage. So, just a quick recap in chapter 11. We know Judy's dad and brother brought in the project, and she wanted to bring it in. She didn't want anyone to ruin it, mess it up. And unfortunately, her dad spilled grape juice on it and had this big purple stain in the center of her project. But instead of making a big deal out of it and getting upset over it, she used a Sharpie, colored over it, and turned it into the state of Virginia, where she lives. So we know Judy can have a little bit of a mood, and she's not always one to let things go so easily, and she kind of makes a big deal out of them. We thought she'd be upset by this giant purple stain in her poster, but instead she turned a bad thing into a good thing. And she had a really positive mindset to it. So let's get started with chapter 12, Band-Aids and Ice Cream. Band-Aids and ice cream. When Judy got back to the class, she put on her doctor coat, walked to the front of the room, and held her meat collage high. She stood tall, as if her brother had not nearly ruined her masterpiece with jungle juice. She tried to look like a person who would grow up to be a doctor and make the world a better place. A person who could turn a bad mood right around. Judy told herself about her family, including a time Stink sold moon dust, which explained why her brother was a piece of dirt. That's funny. She traced the outline of Virginia with her finger to show where she lived. She talked about Rocky, her best friend, and Frank, her new friend. She pointed out a paste jar, lid taped to a corner, and told the class that Frank ate paste for a dare once. "Is that Jaws?" asked Brett. "The thing that eats bugs?" "Yes," said Judy. "Even though I have a cat, Jaws is my favorite pet. When I grow up and become a doctor, I want to move to the rainforest and search for medicines and rare plants that could cure ucky diseases." Judy pointed out the pizza table for Mr. Todd and other stuff she collected for hobbies. She told the class she was a member of the TP Club, but she couldn't tell them what TP stood for. This is a picture of Stink standing outside the White House in a flag costume, and she explained why it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. Every part of her collage was when she showed the doll hand coming out of a magazine toilet. So Judy told them about the worst thing ever turned into the funniest thing ever. Oh wow, so we can see this is Judy's complete poster of her All About Me collage. So we can see the I Ate a Shark t-shirt. We could see where she lives, and there's in that background, this is the state of Virginia. What else? My favorite pet. This is Jaws over here. She wants to be a doctor one day. The TP Club. We see some band-aids signifying that something that she wants to be a doctor. And her friends down here. So we got Rocky and we got Frank. Any questions? She asked the class. Sorry. Judy explained about Elizabeth Blackwell, first woman doctor, and then gave him a demonstration of her doctor skills. She put Rocky's arm in a sling and wrapped bandages around Frank's knee. She pulled out her pretend blood and used Heta Get Beta to show how to apply band-aids. "That's it. Me, Judy Moody." "Great job, Judy," said Mr. Todd. "Class, any comments?" "I like how you painted Virginia into the middle of your collage to show where you live," said Jessica Finch, "instead of just using a picture of your house." "Those tattoo band-aids are the coolest," said Dylan. "I have a blister. Can I have one?" "I have a hangnail. I have a paper cut. I have a mosquito bite." Before Judy knew it, everybody in the whole class was wearing tattoo band-aids. "Judy Moody, you're a mover and a shaker," said Mr. Todd. "I am?" asked Judy. "What's that mean?" Mr. Todd laughed. "Let's just say it means you have an imagination." What had almost become a bad mood Friday had turned into a very fine day. And it wasn't over yet. When she walked out to get the bus that afternoon, Mom and Dad were waiting to take Judy and Stink for ice cream at Screamin' Mimi's. "I'm getting that blue ice cream, Rainforest Mist." like you guys always do. Stink jumped up and down, holding his pocket with the toad. Did your teacher like today? Judy asked. Yes, but she was almost in the Toad Pea Club, said Stink. Judy cracked up. Mom, Dad, can I ask Rocky and Frank to come too? That's a great idea, Mom said. Outside Screamin' Mimi's, Judy licked her rainforest mist, scoop on top of chocolate mud, her favorite. She was in her best mood. She was Judy Moody mood ever. Stink took Today out of his pocket and set him on the picnic table. Today hopped toward a blue drip from Rocky's ice cream cone. Today's like rainforest mist, said Rocky. Hey, Frank, Judy asked, when are you going to finish your meat collage? Mr. Todd said I could bring it in Monday. You're not done yet? Asked Rocky. I still don't have anything for clubs. The dictionary says a club is 3 or more people. So we can see they're here at Screamin' Mimi's, all eating their ice cream, having a good time. And those are Judy's parents in the back. And we got Frank, we got Rocky, and we got Stink. Judy looked at Rocky. Rocky looked at Stink. Stink looked at Judy. All 3 of them looked at Frank. If you pick up Toady right now, you can be in a club, said Judy. Really? Asked Frank. Really and truly, said Judy and Rocky at the same time. Frank crinkled his nose. I don't get it. Rocky laughed. You will. Frankie scooped up Toad with one hand. Use both hands, said Judy. Like this, said Rocky, cupping his hands. Just hold him a minute, said Stink. I still don't get it, said Frank. Oh, you'll get it, said Judy, Rocky, and Stink. A second later, Frank felt something warm and wet in his hand. He crossed his eyes, and they all fell down laughing. Well, looks like he's now a part of the TP Club. And that is the end of Judy Moody. So Frank got to get into his club. Judy Moody got to become friends with Frank. And in the end, all the things work out. Her collage goes well. And it's probably a class favorite. So what turned out to be something bad, she turned into a good situation.